Joining me now is Florida Congressman Michael Waltz. He's a member of the Armed Services, Intelligence, and Foreign Affairs Committees. Congressman, it's great to have you this morning. Your reaction to Edwards' report on the ground, Yellen's conversations, and what her messaging is to the United States from her experience so far?
Well, one of the things that we want to find out is what concessions did this administration make to get these meetings with both Secretary of State Blinken and with Yellen, because apparently we pulled back on some of our sanctions for human rights abuses. We also pulled back some of our export controls as we tightened down the outright theft of American IP. So my colleague, Representative McCall, the chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, has demanded and is talking about subpoenaing these officials to find out what concessions did we make just to get a meeting, much less what concessions we're making at the meetings. And then secondarily, look, I hope that Secretary Yellen raised the fact that Chinese authorities are raiding American businesses on top of stealing our IP, the ongoing human rights abuses in their manufacturing that are barred by law from American manufacturing participating in. There is a whole host of abuses going on within the business sector that I hope that she took a tough line, but it doesn't appear to be the case.
Everything that you're saying is exactly on point. And one of my biggest concerns right now is the fact that this administration would be making concessions when we are suffering as a result of our relations with China, but also as China continues to set its sights on Taiwan. I think that Xi Jinping looks at this president and sees him as a weak president and thinks that now is the time to act, in some ways similar to Vladimir Putin and his invasion of Ukraine.
That's
Your
right.
thoughts of where this goes, because this is not a White House that is standing up to the Chinese.
No, it's not. In fact, the Chinese communists see both the desperation of our business leaders. I mean, remember, we just had Bill Gates there literally on bended knee singing the Chinese communist praises. We just had Elon there as well. So they see both the desperation of our business sector to keep doing business in the Chinese market, plus this administration's obsession with climate, even if it makes us more dependent on the Chinese made solar and wind turbines for climate, as leverage to get their way and to get advantage, whether it's Taiwan, South China Sea, or dominating other global supply chains. So I agree. She sees now as the time under this administration. He smells weakness, as do the Iranians, as did Putin, as does Kim Jong-un and others. And now is the time to be aggressive from their standpoint, because this administration has allowed deterrence to fail.
Yeah. Let's switch gears for a moment, because we got some new details out about the cocaine that was found at the White House. Reports claiming that this small-size bag of powder was found at a cubby near the Situation Room, which is just one floor below the Oval Office. It was previously reported that the drugs were found near the West Wing lobby. Meanwhile, the cover of the New York Post this morning, Congressman, conspiracy of silence. Hunter Biden prosecutor ignores GOP demands, while the White House press secretary answers only 2% of questions about Biden's scandals. Congressman, the president himself laughs these issues off. He's antagonistic with the press. The scandals are now piling up. Two questions here with respect to how they're handling it, but also we're going into an election year. You've got to think the American people are going to wake up, look at some of these issues and start to feel that a change is necessary.
Yeah, well, one could only hope, but unfortunately the mainstream media is virtually silent on the vast majority of these scandals. But we'll continue to push from an oversight standpoint. Representative Jamie Comer, the head of government oversight, is going to have new revelations in this coming week. I don't know of any American who believes you set up 20 to 25 shell companies that sell no product, no service, merely exist to shuffle around and obfuscate foreign money. That anybody believes that you do that for good good purposes. And then secondarily, I worked in the Bush White House. Only people with the highest clearances or very senior officials enter into that part of the lobby near the White House Situation Room, one of the most sensitive places in the entire U.S. government. So set aside this cocaine, a white powder that could have been anthrax or some other type of chemical or weapon of mass destruction gets that close to the heartbeat of our government. That is a massive security failure, and the mainstream media just wants to shrug it off.
And he's laughing about it, the president himself, and also was laughing and goading the press when it was suggested by evidence that we now have and whistleblower claims that the president was involved in some of these overseas dealings via Hunter Biden. And he said to the press, "Where's the money?" Making a joke out of it.
Yeah, we had one whistleblower to the Trump administration that said he was uncomfortable with a phone call, and the media and the left lost their minds, and we moved towards a ridiculous impeachment proceeding because of that. Now we have a whole slew of whistleblowers from multiple agencies alleging cover-up and corruption of the president's son in an investigation that it increasingly looks like leads to the president himself. And again, I mean, you asked about the political impact. Well, if people don't know about it because the media is not reporting it, that's corruption in our media. Yeah. And that is just completely unacceptable.
Corruption in the media is a huge problem, but also social media has been a huge problem. And we talked about the decision earlier this week, putting that temporary injunction in place, not allowing the White House to control the narrative and communicate with social media companies in a way that would suppress conservative speech as well. Congressman Michael Waltz, great to see you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.